A French court ruling to overturn a ban on wearing burkinis at the beach is not going down too well with mayors at the country's Riviera towns, which had outlawed burkinis in the interests of secularity. A number of them have already pledged to keep the ban despite the judge's decision. So far, the new ban only affects one town, but is expected to set a precedent. And that town's mayor has already slammed the decision as going against the principles of the Republic.
Cette décision, loin d'apaiser, ne peut qu'aviver les passions et les tensions, avec les risques de troubles que nous voulons justement éviter. Seule désormais une loi peut les prévenir. La polémique vient d'associations qui essayent de gagner du terrain. Aujourd'hui, elles peuvent être satisfaites. L'islamisation rampante progresse dans notre pays.
According to a new poll, the vast majority of French people support banning burkini swimsuits from all of the country's beaches. Only 11% of respondents were against the idea. And we discussed the ban earlier and the surrounding controversy with Asif Arif, the director of the website Cultures and Beliefs, and Liberty campaigner Paul Whiffen.
The fact that some mayors are banning the burkinis is against the fundamental values that are ensured in our country, which fundamental values include the freedom of expression, and into this freedom of expression you have the right to wear whatever clothes you want.
Of course, if you believe that women should fundamentally be able to wear whatever they want or not wear whatever they want, presumably this is a victory for them as well.
No, I don't think it is at all, because this is not about what the women themselves want to wear. It's a dress code which is being forced on them. And this kind of wear on the beach is absurd. And what it is a flagrant public display of the refusal to integrate, the refusal to respect Western culture, and the me, whinging of the Islamic community every time they're asked to obey the law in countries where they are essentially guests. And it's a fundamental symbol of the oppression of women by the males in the Islamic community.
Many would argue a lot of these women are actually wearing this out of free will, as if presumably you'd have something to come back to, Paul, on that with.
When we see the ban on burkini, it's violating the fundamental principle of our constitution. It's violating the fundamental principle of the European Convention of Human Rights. So when we ask these women, they're just saying that's for keeping my own pudeur, which is a word for French saying my shame from others, and it's just for my own self.
I have a degree in French. He doesn't need to talk down to me and explain to me French terms. The fundamental problem here is what Voltaire said during the Enlightenment. We must tolerate everything but intolerance. And this intolerance of women's bodies, this forced shaming of women and blaming them for all the evils of the world, is the real issue here.
Right, after a very short break here on RT International, the Hungarian Prime Minister says Brussels has lost touch with reality as the migrant crisis continues to divide Europe. We're back in a moment.